What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and this video is about, can severe sexual abuse make a person gay? Now, if you're new to the channel, I want you to understand that what I do is make video reviews about TV shows and movies. The reason that I'm making this video is because in this TV show called The Chi that comes on Showtime, it's a woman that was sexually abused. She was kidnapped, and in the upcoming episode it shows that she's making a lot of changes in her life. And so I'm wondering, does the sexual abuse have something to do with it? Now, why I was asking this is because I have spoken with people, heard stories, even seen a show that's currently on HBO, I'll Be Gone in the Dark, about the East Area rapist and his victims and what they went through. And so it's interesting to see and ask that question. What's going on now? This season in the show The Chi, they portrayed this character Kiesha as being lost, insecure. She was getting ready to have a chance to get a scholarship to go to college, but wasn't sure if she wanted to do that, wanted to stay in the city with friends and family. And even a friend of hers said, hey, you mess around and get pregnant by some dude and work in some half-ass job. And she said, well, what's wrong with that? So at the time, it showed in the first episode of season 3 of The Chi that this character Kiesha was lost, insecure. She was liking hang out with people. Some people was saying, maybe a little fast. She was at a wedding, and some of the aunties, she was dating an older man that actually worked at her school. And so she was doing a lot, but she is a Chicago woman, and I will give credit to the sense that a lot of Chicago women grow up fast, and not necessarily as it's a negative, it's just that it's a fast life in Chicago. And so maybe some people would think that she was doing a lot of things fast, but I think that, yeah, it may have been fast, but that's kind of a speed that everybody operates on Chicago. So she may be doing what normal girls her age could be involved with, but she was dressing very promiscuous. She did go to a friend's house where his lady was, with a little tiggle bitties hanging out. And not to say that because you dress a certain way, you deserve to be raped or kidnapped or treated poorly. No, that is not the case. And I'm not saying that she deserved it or asked for it, but she is putting out an image that is confusing, and it can bring trouble. Now, the way that it happened in the show is she was waiting for some midnight bus ride, and somehow, some way, she ended up being kidnapped. Now, as of now, the show is still going on, so we don't know the details on how she was kidnapped. But she was kidnapped while she was sitting on the bus, half naked in the middle of the night in Chicago. You're asking for trouble, okay? Now, again, that doesn't mean that you deserved it. She could have been standing there bucket naked, and she still shouldn't have been kidnapped or raped. I'm not saying that. But as a woman, it's certain things that you should be smart about, and that wasn't smart, especially when she was all on her phone and not really paying attention to her surroundings. And it just wasn't smart as a young lady to be doing that with so much stuff going on in the world. You should always be on guard. Now, when she was kidnapped, and I'm gonna go over all of this for those that have seen the show and know it, just bear with me, please. I'm trying to update those that are not familiar with the show, new to the channel, and are new to this video. So the background on why I'm asking this guy was very sick. He's washing her up in the bathtub, whispering ugly somethings in her ear. He's trying to feed her like he want to be her daddy, but like she's a baby. I mean, it's really, really weird. He's got cameras in the room. He's got her locked in the basement in some building, that he lives in. He's monitoring her with the cameras wherever she goes. When she goes to use the bathroom, he wants to watch her, even make her smile, and he wants to watch her while she pees. I mean, he taking it to a whole nother level. I mean, R. Kelly ain't got nothing on this dude. I mean, not only did he kidnap her and he all into the pee, but he want her to smile and all of this and that. I mean, this dude is straight crazy, straight loco, okay? R. Kelly Sr., because he's way above what R. Kelly was ever doing, and he done took it to a whole nother level, which is horrible. And so this has got to be traumatic. It ended up that she was kidnapped and gone for 2 months. But that 2 months can seem like a lifetime. This is some things that you will probably, well, ain't probably, you will never forget. And so you will every time use the bathroom, will you remember that it was a dude with a looking at you every time you go to the bathroom? Whenever you eat, how are you gonna feel when you eating and this guy, you remember how he was feeding you like a baby and stuff? So I think a lot of this stuff is gonna, affect her as she gets out, and it can make it even more difficult to overcome, because sometimes people have these traumas but they able to get over it because it wasn't so deep. She even escaped. Okay, she got away. For those of you that didn't see, she got away for a moment. She didn't keep running, she fell, and like typical TV shows, she was recaptured and brought back inside. Now, take out the TV aspect of it all and just thinking of it with as if I was the person, Kiesha, the character, that would be very traumatic. You were going through all of this. You thought you got away. Now you're back into it again. He locks you up even more. I mean, it's just got to be very heartbreaking, and it's psychological mind freak that all of the things you felt, you was trapped, you was kidnapped, you was felt hopeless, then you got away, you felt free, you were happy, then you got recaptured, and now you right back into it. I mean, it's like an emotional roller coaster of hell, and I mean, it's very traumatic. I mean, it's gotta be heartbreaking. And then not only that, the emotional blackmail and the emotional torture. He would whisper in her ear while he cutting her hair, "You was dressing like a slut, and I'ma fix you." And he telling them about what his ex-girlfriend and what happened to her, and he gonna make sure that don't happen. And he playing house, laying in the bed with her. They in a little baby bed, a twin bed, and this big grown, overgrown Negro is laying all up on her, talking about, "Yeah, we had a good night last night." So he's sexually abusing her and just mind raping her. She eventually got a little weapon to try to fight back, but of course she wasn't strong enough. He was able to overpower her, subdue her, and although he never really, we didn't see him physically abuse her by beating her, he did have a fist to her face, and just emotional, just the threat of being strong arm beat time and time again just had to just put so much fear in her that I'm sure it would be difficult to be with another man, to trust a man. You never know, if this person gets mad, would they do what this person did? Not to say that that's fair, but I mean, life isn't fair. Sometimes people have these feelings, and after what she went through, who could blame her? I mean, she has in such a state of despair. He had her down there after she tried to fight back with nothing in the room, completely removed. She tore the sheet and made herself a noose. She was thinking of committing suicide because it was just, she was hopeless. It was nothing there, no hope, no way out. And the only way to get out of that situation was death. So that's gotta be hard when the best option for you is suicide. That means that you really, really have reached the bottom of the barrel. And I'm not saying suicide is a way out, and I'm not saying that it's justified, but when people come to that, they have really come through a lot to come to that level. Now, eventually, she did try to fight back because she was rescued, and with the help of the person that helped her, they were able to get out of there. She got the weapon and beat him. Now, she actually beat him, as we know from seeing on the next episode, to death. Now, that's another piece of trauma added onto it, because not only did you beat him to death, but now you got a murder on your conscience. Now, maybe you may not care about that murder because that person kidnapped you, and you may be happy that you murdered that person, but this is a big roller coaster of psychological thriller that she has went through. And although she is free, can you ever be free? Can you get over it? Now, why I say does it make you turn gay? Because we see in the next episode, she's taking all the sexy clothes, taking it in the bathtub and burning it. She's starting to dress like a dude, just dressing straight up like a stud. She would make her hard to trust men. A lot of people in the comments were saying that they think that she's going to turn gay, or that she's going to have a problem with being around men. I have spoken with people, and I've seen interviews and TV shows where women have had a hard time trusting and being with men because of something like that. It's just hard to feel comfortable again. But at the same time, it's also plenty of stories and plenty of women that have been able to be with men again and have kids and have a family. Although it was difficult, they were able to overcome it. In my opinion, it's time for some real talk, okay? I can understand how a woman may not want to be with a man, and it would be hard for them to trust a man. As far as turning gay, I think that if they didn't want to be with somebody at all, I could understand that. But turning gay, I don't think that can do that, unless it happens at such a young age that you're not familiar with your sexuality or who you are as a person. Then maybe it will affect you more than if you are at an older age. Then maybe you're more secure in your sexuality, and maybe you may not want to be in another relationship, but I don't think that it can actually turn your sexual preference. And I don't think that would make you change who you would want to be in a relationship with. But that's my opinion. Now, as far as what happened with this young lady in the show, The Chi, I hope that she's able to overcome this trauma. I'm sure she's going to have a lot of trauma from wanting to commit suicide, thinking about all the things that's happened, how he kidnapped her, what she's went through, and then sometimes because of the things that he was telling her about, because how she was dressed and everything, she probably will blame herself for what happened a lot, and in no way, no how is it her fault. And if anybody is listening that has been through that, always remember it's not your fault. Even if you was standing there bucket naked, it's not your fault, because nobody got the right to do that. And he was wrong on every single level. I hope that all the Kieshas in the world are able to overcome these type of things and show them that they did not win and they weren't able to change them. And I wish them nothing but the best. I want to see you guys' comments. You let me know, what do you think? Does it matter what age you are when this trauma occurs, or can this affect you only when you're younger and change your preference? Do you think that she'll be able to overcome this situation? You let me know. I hope so. Those of you that's new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the like, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm out. Peace.